All right, got the return of Eyone Williams to Prime Quality TV. What's up, man? How you
What's
been,
up?
man?
What's up, man? Appreciate you, man. So
Yeah,
I like the setup, man. Apologize for the delay.
nah, it's cool, man. We trying to set this up for a little minute, so
Might have been good that way. Like timing is everything.
yeah, nah, it's a lot of shit been going on, man, since the last time we sat down, and everybody know, man, one of the hottest things right now going is a Say Cheese interview that came out, you know. Someone on there was, addressing you, calling you out, making some, claims about you. So I was want to ask, man, to give you the floor. The floor is yours. Like, what was your reaction to that whole interview and everything that was said in it?
Mm. Uh, Man, I'm still digesting that, right? And I told myself when I talked to you today, I was just going to be Eon, right? Not no personality, not upset or none of that. But my first thing when I saw the interview, I had a feeling it was coming. So as I watched it, the first time I watched it online. What I mean by online, I was live streaming and I actually watched it, not showing it, watched it, but the people that's, viewing what I'm doing at the time can hear it. So I digested it like that and, was talking to people on it. But I had to watch it by myself, right, to really get a full, better understanding. I probably still got to watch it again, right? The dude Sean Cotton, the Say Cheese guy, right? Evidently, he is successful with content creating and things like that. That's a given. He got millions of subscribers and followers on all his joints together, right? Like, I would say millions at least, right? So I wondered in that video, like, what was the purpose of him talking to this alleged Wayne Perry baby mother when he didn't get no more Wayne Perry information, and he didn't get any information when he skipped to the end about Rayful Edmond, no real information. So it seemed like the whole video was him allowing his platform to be used by this person that's clearly, don't like me at the least. All right. So like other than that, now I'm saying, okay, little old Eon, as they want to put it, I'm significant enough for them to attack by way of Say Cheese. In all actuality, not trying to make it sound too glamorous or nothing, but maybe I should be flattered. Maybe it should be a compliment only regarding to the Say Cheese platform, the Sean Cotton guy, right? Now she said my whole name on there. I noticed when they did that first video, the 100 body joint, about 10 months ago, a year ago, however long ago it was, he didn't allow her to say the names of people, because all she does on the internet is spit venom at all type of people. We could go into that later, but I'm still trying to just give you my breakdown, and I'm doing it as I talk. But he let her attack me. He let her attack Sean Branch specifically. I mean, in every question that I thought that he asked, there would have been a question of substance, such as, what's up with Clifton Powell? What did he say? Something about Spike Lee. Did you know Rayful Edmond? A guy I knew got kidnapped by Wayne Perry, allegedly. None of the questions that people come to see did she answer. So the only thing of any substance in that video, he should send me a check or send Sean Branch a check. The only thing people clicked on to see was her take shots at me and Sean Branch and do some shameless, desperate call to 50 Cent to say, ooh, come talk to me. I mean, I just stop there and let you ask specific questions because I don't have a whole bunch of I don't want to use your platform to shoot at him. Like, I ain't interested in shooting at him. In all actuality, if we look at it platform for platform, for him to mention my name, Eyone Williams, although they didn't want to mention my platform is DC Blacks. Matter of fact, since you said Eyone Williams, y'all could have said DC Blacks, but for some reason he probably didn't let her say that. So she said, do you know Eyone Williams? Yeah, I know the light-skinned guy, the light-skinned cat, whatever terminology you use. Cool, but I thought it was a big joke. And before I do let you go on, I did something that did just come to my mind. When she brought up paperwork and stuff, right? I bought some paperwork today too. Like I'm gonna play the paperwork game with you today when I just get to me talking, right? But when she brought up paperwork that she alleged was my paperwork, the Say Cheese guy didn't question it thoroughly at the least. He did say, where did you get it? She said, oh, I'm not going to tell you, or something to that effect. But he didn't double down on what it was supposed to be. He just let her read off some stuff. He didn't question if it was official. He didn't even question, how do we find it? She read a case number, but she didn't tell you what she was reading on there. And I'm not even getting into the defense of myself yet. I'm going to do that later. But I'm just saying, what was your purpose at that point? Just to let her say, oh, he's a rat? So I did want to add that point in there. I just didn't see no constructive content that he was presenting in that situation other than an attack on me and Sean Branch.
So you feel like it should have been a better job of like fact checking all of the statements and claims she made?
I don't, when I watch Say Cheese content, I don't watch it like I watch content that is for fact checkers and things like that. I see Say Cheese platform as a platform where he lets subjects come on there and get their thing off. He interviewed Rollo down there. He ain't doubled down on him with no real allegations like the girl that interviewed him specifically talked about page 12, and we ain't got to get into Rollo right here, but that was taken down. He just let Rollo get his thing off. Say Cheese has Charleston White on there multiple times. I'm not going to get to pretending like I look at his content for fact-based content. It may be truly out of the horse's mouth, but it's only that person. So, no, I didn't expect him to double down like, he was some type of hell of an investigative journalist or nothing like that. But I just don't think that he even allowed himself to be seen as somebody that was truly impartial and unbiased in the matter, whereas though he didn't check it. He said, he made a funny reference to a question. She said her son had some interaction with me on the internet, and the next day or very soon after her son's house got raided on there. We can go into the specifics of that. The tone of his response was, for real, the next day, something like that. The tone was funny and unbelievable, but he let her say it. And, I thought once I got to that point, I realized, oh, this is a joke, and the joke's supposed to be on me. And I'm going to tell you something else I think is funny. Karma is a hell of a situation, right? And timing, as I just told you, when me and you was talking about, timing is everything too, right? The baby mama person and Aunt Glizzy some type of way planned this, right? Now look at how this worked. You're a content creator. You don't shoot the video, put the video out that night. Not when you got long content video like this, right? So I think that they had this plan that Aunt Glizzy was going to attack Psych, and he was going to lay this play down for them to revisit her interview and then attack me all at the same time. But Aunt Glizzy didn't calculate into the equation fate. And just so happened, fate would have it that he would get arrested for identity theft charge and, all this social security number stuff. Same charges that baby mama got that we're going to go into. I got her paperwork right here. Identity theft and something about using social security numbers. That's her charge. Same charges Aunt got. All of a sudden, this blows up, and now they can't take full advantage of it. And Sean Cotton and Say Cheese, he ain't going to ask Aunt about his charges. And let's go back to baby mama real quick, since we still talking about Say Cheese. She said in a video the other night, since she wanted attention, that she's going to go back on Say Cheese again. So now that's her story on Say Cheese, right? And she said that Say Cheese has a team of people all around when they're there, and what we're going to do is we're gonna go through my paperwork, line for line, and blase, right? So what I'm doing right now on your channel is I'm trying to make sure that whenever they go over her paperwork line for line, because her paperwork says she has a plea agreement with the government to cooperate at any time, don't skip over page 7 on that page. Like when everybody was talking about Rollo and they kept talking about page 12, I'm letting it be known right now, if she goes on Say Cheese, if Say Cheese is really interested in the truth, he really want a DC story, right? Now you done opened the can of worms into a DC story. Analyze page 7 and document 30, case number 111CR00374-LO, okay? Document 30, y'all. Page 7. that she has a cooperation deal with the government to provide information at any time. I ain't got to double down on that. So when Say Cheese do that, since now all of a sudden y'all gonna turn Say Cheese into a legal analyzation page, now all of a sudden y'all want to turn Say Cheese into a whack 100 page or something like that, really read the paperwork.
So, kind of like touching on some of the comments that were made in that interview, I wanted to kind of like first start off with the Clifton Powell, misunderstanding that was, had people, that kind of like thought that he had basically, said he didn't want to play Wayne Perry because of that being a scene where he was, I guess, alleged to be gay or whatever. You interviewed Clifton Powell, and she had took issue with that. What was what was your take on that whole, first of all, situation with Clifton Powell and the kind of backlash he had gotten for them comments, and then how do you respond to her being upset with you interviewing him, basically thinking y'all was trying to discredit Wayne or damage his reputation?
I got it. That's all of it in one. Before I go into the Clifton Powell part, let me make it clear that before she had all these bad things to say about Clifton Powell, she made a whole video that she shared on her social media praising Clifton Powell. And it's still there to this day if y'all go watch her video, if you follow her content, right? But she was praising Clifton Powell, saying, thank you, Clifton Powell, and shout out to Clifton Powell, and he wouldn't play a gay character. Thank you for having principles, okay? 2-3 days later, I get a phone call from a brother that I consider a very close friend of mine, Anton White. Shout out to our city, right? And he said, hey, E, I got a call from Clifton Powell, and he want to address that Wayne Perry stuff, man. You want to interview him on your platform? So technically, that's a favor for a favor. A brother of mine, a friend of mine is doing a favor for me for my platform. So I said, yeah, sure, why, what's up? What's the play? So shout out to Jahar Abraham. A lot of people know him. He a DC advocate and entrepreneur, businessman and everything, right? He said, we're going to have it Wednesday. Nobody pulled up on Clifton Powell and intimidated him. They want to make it like, two things they want to make it like. And I'm talking about the baby mama person. First, she want to make it now, and after she understands what's going on, or she thinks she do, she want to make it like we set up a play to have him do something and then come back and correct it for brownie points. First and foremost, Jahar, who was a part of that sit down, he don't even do the internet. I don't got the defend tone name. From the prison to the streets, everybody know what's up with him. Even on the internet, people have a glimpse of, slim thoroughness and manhood. The views and the internet and the content was all given to me. Let me just say that. It wasn't nothing that I sought out like, I'm some type of big time journalist or this or that. It fell in my lap. It was a perfect thing for my content, and they brought it to the DC Blacks platform. All right, fast forward to the interview, right? If anyone watched the interview, none of us was checking him. None of us was aggressive with him. And it was a panel. It wasn't just me. And he was more so explaining his position. All right, now to go back to what it all started from on the Art of Dialogues platform, which now all of a sudden on the Say Cheese platform, now she want to trash Clifton Powell, whatever way. But that's what she do. She's in the trash, and her content is trashing people, things, and ideas. Now, Clifton Powell did say on that Art of Dialogue interview that he was given a script and, he didn't want to play the script because of the Wayne Perry allegations of being, he'll use the word bisexual, someone else will use the word gay. We don't got to keep reiterating those things. Everybody know what was said. Now, if he was misquoted, if he was misinformed, because what he did on my platform, and that's what we're going to talk about what happened on my platform, he was able to give what he called clarity. He said, he don't know Wayne Perry. He didn't know Wayne Perry. He even mispronounced Rayful Edmonds' name as Rayful Johnson. So clearly, that's not, the street life is not what's important to him. And he said he left DC in the 70s. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt on all of that, right? Whatever he said on the Art of Dialogue, I'm only going to use what he's saying on my platform. He's saying that he only had heard of this matter from something else. He said a magazine, he said an article, I believe. Wherever he heard it from, he was given an opportunity to set it straight on there. He's saying, yo, I don't know Wayne. I don't know none of that to be true. Anything I said, I heard it from somewhere else, and I don't mean to disrespect him and his family. Ultimately, aside from the parts of the interview that he shared with us about his personal life, his mother passing away, the world-renowned sport broadcaster Jim Brown being his nephew by way of being his aunt, by way of being his aunt's son. You dig what I'm saying? Or his sister's son, my fault. You dig what I'm saying? So it was other things in the interview that wasn't even just about Wayne Perry. So that's my whole take on that. And for her to go on Say Cheese and act like it was a publicity stunt, be as though she probably couldn't articulate that. She basically claiming it was some type of publicity stunt, and that if we was going to say something to him, let's keep it straight. Let's keep it real right here, bro. That if we was going to say something to him, we should have said something to Sean Branch. Let me define as a man what the difference is in us having a conversation with Clifton Powell and us checking Sean Branch. Let me put myself in it. The difference between me having a conversation with Clifton Powell and me having a conversation or checking Sean Branch, which is this Machiavelli game they trying to do. This whole me having a problem with Sean Branch is a thing that they want to create dissension between me and Sean Branch. I don't have to check that. That's not my job to check. Clifton Powell said he heard something. Correct? He read something, he seen something, whatever it is, he's saying it by way of third party. Correct? Am I wrong or right? Sean Branch, with whatever they're saying about him, is saying something that is what his personal knowledge or recollection is. What am I to say to him about that? That's a rhetorical question. That ain't the same thing as Clifton Powell. That ain't the same thing as after it's coming out of Clifton Powell's mouth, Clifton Powell realized that, damn, maybe I shouldn't have said that way. Let me go at least try to clarify, correct it, push it back, recant it, whatever word you think. So that's a humongous difference. They wouldn't even say Sean Branch's name for 3 or 4 years. Now all of a sudden they got the baby mama. All of a sudden the baby mama got the audacity to call Sean Branch's name out. This is only because she's been using other people as satellite puppets. Like this one guy out of Detroit that I don't even want to say his name on your platform, but he constantly gives her a platform, a little platform, a soapbox platform, to spew poison and venom. And what they did, what he was able to do was he was able to use Sean Branch's name over and over again. He got a platform that gets views only if he talks about Alpo. If you look at the views on this platform, you do an analytic breakdown from the outside looking in, Sean Branch's name has brought him over hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. So if a person don't understand what this is all about, then I can't explain it more than that.
So when kind of like, you talked a little bit about the paperwork earlier. When they, she was going over, your paperwork and everything, and basically, calling you a rat and snitch. I wanted to ask, like, where does that title come from? Like when they put it on you, like why are you?
In real life or in her world?
I guess both, because I've heard other people mention or refer to you as that, but
Okay, hold on. When you say in this, you don't need to name nobody specifically, but when you saying that you heard things like that outside of her, you heard those things where, on the internet?
Yeah.
You heard those things in person?
No.
All right. I asked that for a specific reason. The things that you heard outside of her on the internet comes from her. Let's get that straight, so that way I ain't got to address all of them. Everybody who's repeating anything pertaining to my charge and my paperwork that's saying that something about me was incorrect that I told on somebody, right? Let's be specific here. I don't want to use theys and somebodies when we talk about my situation. She's saying that I told on they can't even pronounce the names correctly. She's saying, and everybody that's repeating it is coming from her, because she's the one that alleged she went to get the paperwork from the court building. No one else has access to this. No one else said they went to get this. Remember what the source of this is. Because when I get into her paperwork, I don't want nobody saying that, oh, why is Eyone doing that to a woman? Remember that the source of everything pertaining to any rat bone, hot bone that comes from the internet, not real life, that comes from the internet, comes from a extortion, bro. That's a fact. It's recorded it's recorded videos of this being done. Now, they can't pronounce the names correctly. The names that they are using is Darren Ware and Donald Nally. you know, condolences to the family for what happened in the 90s, you know, but these people have brought this thing up. I'm not talking about this to disrespect the families and blah, none of that. But their legend that I told on Darren and Donald, okay? Without getting too much into it, I went to jail for murder, assault with intent to kill, armed robbery, and some other things. But the victims in my case are Darren and Donald. One died, one didn't. The one that didn't die is the person that was the witness in my case, all right? The witness in my case was also shot. They went into my paperwork and got a suppression motion that was filed by my lawyer at 16. Now, in no way am I trying to separate myself from this motion that was filed, right? The motion was filed by my lawyer, and at 16, I didn't know what a suppression motion was, nor did I know any type of legal stuff like I do now. So I could talk about that part later. But the lawyer filed a motion to suppress me telling the homicide detective what was an alibi. The homicide detective asked me, did I kill someone? I said no. I was at the hotel with my girlfriend. That is a statement. That is not what you call a statement that's implicating someone in a crime. But anything you say out your mouth from your name to your social security number is a statement. Now, by the time me and my lawyer got to know each other and work things out and I'm sitting over to jail, she said, yo, they have an oral statement saying that you said you was at a hotel. The girl that you said you was at the hotel with, she said you wasn't there. And that they said if she lied and say you was there, they're going to take her child. The lawyer filed a motion to suppress, right? Now check this out for anybody who thinks somebody lying. The motion to suppress was denied. So there's no fake statement. There's nowhere hidden. The statement that they say was orally made is in the first page of the paperwork. You get what I'm saying? When she started passing the paperwork around the internet from Aunt Glizzy to the Michigan guy, she sent different pages. She sent page 3 to say motion to suppress. She sent another page, I forgot the page of that, to say motion denied. But if anybody really cared, which is why this is all about trolling and slander my character, right? Which I thought the Say Cheese dude was a little bit above this. I would expect this from an Aunt Glizzy. I would expect this from a Charleston White. You dig what I'm saying? But I kind of thought the Say Cheese dude was just on content creation. However, if he gave a kid, right? That motion might be 7 pages long. That ain't hard to read. Like, once you skip through the parts that say the law, you don't have to read to say Kansas versus Arkansas, 1983. All you need to read is what it say. On the very first page, right? And Aunt Glizzy took it off his page. Aunt Glizzy's not really that intelligent, right? Academically. He may be an internet wizard, but as far as reading and comprehension, that's not his strong suit, all right? And Glizzy shared that page, on his Real Barber Son TV Instagram page. 180-some thousand people have access to seeing that, right? So I decided to defend myself and put on my Instagram, boy, you dumb, you illiterate. You actually showing the real paperwork. See, the only way that her lie works is that when she sends the stuff to you, say for instance, she sent it to you. If you're not intelligent enough or you don't care enough, you're not going to read it. You're just going to post it, right? But me and you had a conversation before this camera came on about integrity. We don't got to go into our private conversation. But based on integrity, you said you would pass on something, all right? Without integrity, you'll just say, oh, this is Eyone Williams. His name would give me some clicks, some views, or whatever. Boom, this is his paperwork, right? If you read it, as I told Ann, I said, boy, you so dumb. You posted the real paperwork. You didn't post what she told you. You got to post what she told you in the order in which she told you for it to look like it's whatever she's talking about. To get to the bottom of to get to my point, the statement that they talk about is that I didn't kill the person and I was at a hotel, bro. There's no other statement for them to find out. They got some other shit that they running around talking about. I said I was buying. Let's get to what you talking about. She ran some shit that said I was buying drugs and selling drugs with Darren and Donald. How does that fit into my case and my indictment and all the other paperwork that she has that she didn't share? So there's no officer name that she said I talked to. There's no location where I supposed to have done none of this. You understand? She's just saying that I talked to the police. That's some shit that they making up. Now, she is a counterfeit queen. I got her paperwork, right? And I ain't going to deflect and go deep into that right now while we still talking about this. But she makes fake paperwork. It's tons of Instagram accounts that she's behind that has paperwork that she made on me going back for years. That's all I'm going to say about that. Well, we can keep talking about it, but I'm talking about that's all I'm going to say about where the paperwork come from. And we can address the rest of it. There's no way I could have been telling or got any benefit by way of the United States Attorney's Office giving me a favor, letting me out of jail early. Keep in mind, I pled guilty to the murder, and everything that the dude that was telling on me said I did anyway. I didn't get out of jail early. I got 15 to life for anybody that want to know, and you can look it up. And one thing that she does that is dangerous is she mixed the truth with falsehood. The case number that she gave out about my case is the real case number, all right? Now, I got 15 to life at 16 years old. I spent 17 years in jail. What benefit did I get? How did I get out of jail early? And then I did 10 years on parole. What is, bruh, and I'm not gonna keep asking you no rhetorical questions, but what they saying has no proof. You can make all the allegations you want, but you need proof. You know what I mean? I got 15 to life. I did 17 years on 15 to life for second-degree murder. I pled guilty to shooting Donald and Dern, the people that they saying that I told on. Dern didn't make it. The other guy got shot in the face. The guy was the witness against me. And there's a bunch of other things that's in the paperwork that they got that they don't even understand is what was used against me. I pled guilty to the facts by myself.
So when you hear, you know, the type of comments she was making about, you know, say like Sean Branch and you, basically like kind of like calling y'all out like by name, you know, what was your reaction to that?
It ain't new to me, man, to be honest with you. Like, I'm gonna try to answer the questions to give you an answer or somebody how I feel, but I was more shocked about the things that she's been saying in private for years. So for her to say it now on Say Cheese, like, that really wasn't no big thing for. I was waiting for it. I watched the whole last Say Cheese interview where she was, you know how the girls back in the day when you was a kid used to do like this before they get into the double dutch? That's what she was doing with the last Say Cheese interview. She's just inside the ropes now. But she was tapping against the water back then, but wouldn't want to say it now. You know, I don't know what has made her or them or whoever that is joking and playing make them so bold that now they want to say Sean Branch's name. You know, first they wouldn't say his whole name. They'd just keep alluding to everybody but the elephant in the room. Now all of a sudden she want to say Sean Branch's name. I think that's just for attention, to be honest, Holmes. And I don't take nothing she say serious. She got an agreement to cooperate with the government. Her son got caught with a gun that belonged to, allegedly, someone else, and he took the police to the hospital where the guy was at that allegedly gave him the gun. Their whole family got accusations that's on paper. So like, as long now they want to play a paperwork game. See, remember, these are the same people that tell you they don't care who's hot on that. But when you find they paperwork and they got something in their paperwork to say something wrong, they get to making up paperwork. I got paperwork right here, and you know what I'm talking about with this because you're in the same type of situation. But I got paperwork right here by her with her name on it against me with criminal charges, bro. Like, this is when you talk about who's a rat and who's not a rat, let's skip around who's a rat and who's not. She weaponizes the court system against black men. Everything that she's tried to do against you, I got the paperwork right here that I can actually show my paperwork. Restraining orders, anti-stalking orders. I got videos, right? My grandmother owned property. A lot of people that really know me know this. Now all of a sudden they trolling me about it. Talking about, oh, your dead grandmother, your dead mama left you this. May they rest in peace, all right? She filed, weaponizing the system, she filed a fake copyright claim against my YouTube page about I said the name Wayne Perry. When you get a YouTube copyright claim, for people who don't know, you got to respond to it or they're going to give you some type of adverse action. In my situation, she filed 3 consecutive copyright claims to take my channel. So I read through all the guidelines, and to make a long story short, I had to respond. When you respond, you have to put an address. So I knew that the objective of the copyright claims were twofold. Take the channel. If you can't take the channel, get my address, stalk and harass me. So I put the address that I use for my grandmother's apartment building because there's a business address in there and there's a resident agent there. Things they can't comprehend and I don't mind talking about, right? She goes outside my grandmother's property yelling and screaming. There's videos of this still online, and if the ones that's not online I had, but they still online. Yelling and screaming and stalking and cussing and all type of stuff. Acting a fool at 60 years old. All right, so they get that address, and I realize all this, and this is what's going on at the time. So from that point on, all the stuff that I come across with the paperwork becomes a relevant situation. Even me sitting here talking to you about it, I got to be careful with it. So if it sounds like I'm being careful, I am being careful. It's stipulations that she got in place, whereas though if I say something wrong, she's going to take it around, turn it around, and weaponize the court system and say that I'm harassing her. Let me ask a question. It's not just for you, it's for the people in the world, right? She filed an anti-stalking paper on me, right? And inside the statement of facts, the court say the petitioner, the respondent, I'm the respondent in that matter, the respondent, which is Eyone Williams, right, has never met Gun and Cow mother. People, how can I stalk her if I never met her? How would I know to stalk her? Question I just want y'all to think about.
So another claim that was made, and you've addressed this on here before, but basically she was saying how, you know, your relationship with Wayne Perry is not what you claim for it to be, and that, you know, it's all, you know, it's all over exaggerated or whatever. What's your response to that?
First and foremost, she a liar. Then every time she lie, I come back and I show proof of she lying. So let me give you a couple examples. First, she said, I don't know Wayne Perry at all. Do you agree with that statement? Have you heard that?
That she said
I don't know him at all.
Oh,
coming from her mouth. No, coming from her mouth. Did you hear her say that before?
Yeah, right.
All right. On Say Cheese, if I ain't mistaken, I think she just said, she say so many different things. Don't make me be the one that's saying something wrong. She just said too many things. But I believe on the Say Cheese interview, she said he don't know Wayne at all. When I saw that, I was watching it live streaming. I said, I don't know him at all. So I pulled out some letters, which she spoke about. Oh, he put out them letters old as shit. I only pulled out the letters, and I didn't show all of them. I just showed them that they was constant letters that was saying, yo, when I talk to you, or when I see you, or tell my son this and this. I flashed them, right? That wasn't for me to gain no credibility with the public. When she was in jail, all the Wayne Perry phone conversations that came out that was on the internet that way came by way of me. So I only did that to show the yo, you lying. Now, the very night after the Say Cheese interview came out, she comes on her little social media thing and say, I never said he didn't know him at all. I said that their relationship is not cool no more. Totally different situation, totally different topic. Now, what's up with me and Wayne? Me and Wayne is cool. Me and Wayne ain't got no problem. She want to discredit Fly, right? Because Fly came home and said, yo, Wayne said this about you. Wayne said that about you. Wayne said, man, write him this way. Wayne said he gonna call me in this. So then she started to attack Fly. So, you know, you need to do your sit down with Fly, man. Fly will give you a bunch of insight that come from Wayne that's gonna be, well, from him to you it'll be secondhand, but from him to Wayne is firsthand information.
So there was like kind of some recent audio of, you know, Wayne Perry that had been kind of like put out there. Mm-hmm. What was your thoughts on that? All
right, good question. The audio of Wayne, that's real. Now that audio came out in like 2013, right around the time Wayne's mother died, right around the time my father died, maybe 2014. 2013, 2014. My father died the same year his mother died, okay? Now, I don't want to call nobody else's name out in this situation, but they gonna know what I'm talking about, and that's cool. But it was a rift between me and some other people, right? That she kind of got into this by way of that. That's all I'm gonna say about that, because I don't want to talk about the other person. And they got to telling Wayne a bunch of lies. So One of the lies that they was telling Wayne was that I made $20,000 selling some T-shirts about him, and I get money all the times that every time somebody else write about Wayne. Let me tell y'all this for the people who don't know, bro. For the people who don't know only. I've only written about Wayne 2 times in my life. They keep saying for 20 years he's doing this, he did this. No, I co-wrote the Don Diva article, issue 30, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Then I wrote the cover story for the other issue that had the picture of Wayne on the cover of the magazine from ADX, all right? Some of the interviews that I did with him, because I did written interviews with Wayne, I didn't do audio interviews at first. My first interviews with Wayne came by way of prison mail. The second wave of interviews between me and Wayne came by way of phone, which is what the documentary was supposed to be. And if you read the Don Diva issue when everything was going well, right? Wayne is in there speaking about the documentary to come. So, like, everything I'm saying, I got facts. And I should have bought you that magazine, but I get to it. But anybody who read the magazine, and the magazine, one thing about writing is immortalized. It's still there in the writing. So, whatever they convinced him of, he said, I'm disappointed in him. You know what I mean? I'm so disappointed in him to do anything for money. He a $5 dude or something, whatever. Think about that. Wayne been in jail 30 years at the time. Well, 33 years now. But he had been in jail almost 30 years at the time, right? Or 20-some years, going on 30 years at the time. Where would any information like that come from? It come from an outside source that's lying to him. That's not what he's saying now. What he's saying now is going to be far more interesting.
What? So you was talking about the paperwork earlier. Like, what? If you can you get into that and discuss what you have here today?
You got any specific questions about it? I'm gonna just read one part. Like how she had some quotes, she had some bars for Say Cheese. I'm gonna read 2 things, but do you got any specific questions?
No, it's just I'm just gonna let you go ahead and say what you gotta say about that.
All right. Say no more. Give me 1 second to get the, because I ain't gonna read all this, because law most of the time is boring. Most people don't even care about it, right? They just want to hear the juicy parts. Did Eyone tell? Did Eyone not tell? The gangster in me says I don't want to talk about it, but the journalist and the content creator in me says, why not talk about it? It's not a secret. All right. Oh, I said I'm gonna share 2 things. No, I'm gonna share 3 things, because one of them is just gonna be interesting, and it's gonna show you how petty of an individual the gun and cop mother is. She want to go and say cheese and act like she was some sophisticated, high-level criminal. She's accused of stealing about $120,000 over 10 years. McDonald's pay you more than $12,000 a year. On the low level, like minimum wage in DC is almost $15 if I'm not mistaken. I don't keep up with it, but I seen a big poster the other day. $15 is gonna put you at almost $30,000 a year, something if I ain't mistaken. You telling me she was running around breaking the law, passing fake checks all over the DMV area for 10 freaking years for $120,000? All right, let me get into this because I'm going too deep into it. First part I want to share is what she's done against me. This is what she did against me. She ran around, called me all type of homosexuals and rats for 4 or 5 years straight. In the beginning of that 5-year period, I was still involved in criminal activity for a second, so I never responded to anything on the internet. I ended up catching a case. I ended up beating the case. I got co-defendants. It's a clear record how I beat the case and all that, right? But I really changed my life after that point in time. And I don't mean like spiritually and, I started doing all this. I felt as though that I was able to make money and survive out here without breaking the law to that extent, taking that type of risk. So I started doing some of the stuff that I do now, which kind of spilt over into social media streaming and content creation. For anybody to think that I just started doing content creation, let me explain to y'all, not you, let me explain to some people what content creation really is. Content creation ain't really just cutting on a camera and making a video. I'm a writer. An artist that makes music is creating content. A person that shoots a video of an artist is creating content. I wrote 40-some books in prison. I got 13 books published under my name, Eyone Williams. I've made documentaries. Shout out to Kareem Moab, 100 Films, and Sean Branch. I got other movies that I've done with cool kids, and Tabby Bonet and Zelly Bonet. Zelly Bonet is with Netflix. Tabby Bonet is an international recording artist. We won awards in the Toronto Film Fest. I did not just start content creating. This is a lower form of content creation for me, not me and you, but for me to be on YouTube expressing my personal opinions. That's just a natural transition for a person that has something to sell. You got guys that came to YouTube and blown up that didn't have anything. The dude Sean Cannell got one of the best YouTube books out. If you study and do your research, he was working somewhere like at some little restaurant. I forgot the name of it. He was waiting tables. So I just want to get that out the way about the content creation part. Now, once they start calling me rats and all this other stuff to get to the point of what I want to share right here, I said, let me look them up. I forgot to look them up. They got a Fed case, which is another reason why Aunt Glizzy Day coming. Because now Aunt Glizzy ain't going to be able to hide from his federal case because it's all going to be on Pacer the same way I found her stuff. Now, she went and filed a stalking paper against me, which was a lie. Technically, y'all, that's filing a fake police report because it's alleging a crime. Now, all I'm going to read to y'all is what happened. She filed this fake report against me, and the funny thing about it, right, is that it's in the report that she filed the report on this day. She filed the fake police report on December 16th, alleging that I stalked her on December 23rd. Question for you. If she filed the paper on the 16th, how could I do something on the 23rd of the same month? The 23rd of that month don't exist, am I right? Okay, you agree with me on that, so that means that everybody else will agree with me on that, right? This says, on or about December 16th, he stalked and cyberbullied me and harassed me over the internet. Hypocritical. This is when it was filed. But on the 23rd, he followed me to my job and took pictures of me. Let that sink in for y'all. This is the official, the certificate. I ain't make this up. This shit came to my house. All right. Take my glasses off, right? Now, this was the court ordered when I missed the court date because I thought it was fake paperwork. She a fraud queen. I seen the paperwork, so my people said, yo, some mail came to the house for you. I said, damn, yeah. I said, man, that's some fake. She said, no, I don't think it's fake, man. It got some court stuff on it. I ain't go to court. She running around the internet laughing and joking, saying I got a warrant. I was like, how the fuck I got a warrant? I ain't get served. Like, I was kind of thrown off on it. And I'm going to tell you something else that I was thrown off. She kept saying it was civil. If it was civil, you shouldn't have a penalty to go to jail. That's what made me realize that it was not civil and it was criminal because they don't put a bench warrant on you for civil actions. Unless the court orders you to do something civilly and then you don't do it. Now what you have done, you have violated the order, you could be in contempt of court. But you're not going to be like a wanted fugitive. The paperwork when I went to get it said no bond. Make a long story short, my homie called me and said, bruh, she just called laughing and joking and said, you got a warrant. I called down the court building, tell him my name. He said, yeah, you got a warrant. I said, so what I got to do? I got to turn myself in like last time I had a warrant for a crime, a real crime, a homicide. They say, nah, just come down to the court building, check in, they gonna give you a paper and you gonna be straight. I go down to the court building, I get down there, I get the paperwork. I see that it's a stalking charge. I see that it's criminal. One thing I want the people that watch this show to come away with this, Joe, she did not file no civil thing on me, bruh. She filed some criminal charges on me that are lies. I want that clear. I want that clear as day to everybody. I see it. It say stalking. I'm looking at the paper at the window. I said, how the hell am I stalking somebody on the 23rd and they filed it on the 16th? Like it don't look real. Anyway, the judge say no. You was like it don't make sense to me. That's kangaroo court, Holmes. Like. If I was really going to go to jail for a gun charge, a drug charge, or a homicide, that the police locked me up on the 16th, and they say that I did it on the 23rd, nobody in the world would even read the paperwork. But the court found this. And you know where the information comes from that the court is reading. The information comes from where? I'm asking you a question. All right. The court hereby finds that it has jurisdiction over the parties and subject matter, and the respondent has been provided reasonable notice and opportunity to be heard. That's me. That, by preponderance of the evidence, the respondent stalked the petitioner in violation of D.C. Code 22-3133. That is a criminal law For anybody that don't know, anytime you see DC Code Section 223133, that means it's criminal. With at least one occasion of the course of conduct occurring within 90 days prior to the date of petitioning, okay? I don't think she knew what prior to petition mean. When they say prior, they mean behind. I think she thought prior meant going forward, so she made a fake charge for the 23rd, I'm telling you. 90 days, responded, okay, boom, here's what they said. This is what Gunn and Carmother told the people at the court building. You have to file this by way of this criminal code, right? Told the people, respondent was in prison with the father of petitioner's son more than 10 years ago. Allow me to stop for 1 minute right there. Ain't this the same person that was on Say Cheese and said, I don't know him, I never been around him, I never seen him before? Okay. Let me read that sentence one more time. Please don't edit that out. Respondent was in prison with the father of petitioner's son more than 10 years ago. Respondent, that's me, has been stalking petitioner for the past few years, including following her to her job on 12/23/24. This is written on 12/16. Posting information on social media indicating that the petitioner is an informant for the government. Posting copies of documents purporting to be her medical records of the petitioner. Posting photographs of the petitioner as well. The respondent posted copies of the petition filed in this court, in this case, so he was clearly served with notice of these proceedings. That's to show you that she tried to get me locked up. So her and the dude that she beat, this other rat lover that loved Alpo, they came up with this plan to file these stalking orders on me, get me locked up, right? They didn't get me locked up. Then after they didn't get me locked up, they got mad and they filed a violation of the order after they went on the internet and trashed me the next day. You know me, I responded. I responded with showing the papers on YouTube. They responded with a privacy complaint, took it down. Why? Because they don't want the information that I just read to get out. But now it's on another platform. Now it's out there. And when they did it, they drugged me back in court, bruh. They drugged me back in court and said, and she said I violated it. And when I'm saying drug me back in court, I'm using that as a term. It was virtual. That's how much they care about it. We didn't even have to go in the court building. And I got the virtual recording of it. Now, I read some shit that I could get in trouble for putting that out, so I didn't do it, right? But check this out. She hate me so much and want the world to believe that I'm a rat, because she a rat, that she sent, this how she feel about people. But I'm going to give Aunt Glizzy, Bob's son, he was kind of sharp on this. She sent Aunt the video of the virtual court hearing, cut her part out, right? And in private eye, just to prove, you as a content creator and a journalist, just to prove to you that I got it, I'm going to show it to you in private, all right? She cut the part out with she on this saying, why y'all not going to charge him? Why y'all not going to prosecute him? Who said they not? The judge said, I don't know. The U.S. attorney said that we're not going to prosecute it. I don't know what else to tell you. Do you have a question? She was like, no, but he keep doing it. He keep posting. He keep doing this. He keep doing that. The judge said, you got to go talk to the prosecutor, the U.S. attorney. On camera, she jumps up and her son is in the background. You'll see it. She jumps up and says, oh, we going down there right now. Her son, Lil Gunny Cos back there talking about, where we going? Where we got to go? He's in there. She tried to come out and clean it up once she realized that I caught it, right? And said that wasn't her son. It was her son. I know his voice. I know him. He's a rapper. He sells his voice. Now, she said at the part where I'm defending myself, right? And they posted. He just threatened that he was going to post it. This how this getting that stuff work. And sent me a message, say, yeah, nigga, I got a video of you on the court testifying right now. I said, bruh, I bet my life you ain't got no video of me like that happening. You ain't even got an AI joint like that of me happening. He threatened me with it, and I hear the audio. I said, tell her to send you the whole video, but I'm going to warn you, she's tricking you. She's sending you a recording of our Zoom court meeting where she took me to court to try to get me locked up. She can't share it because she knows she's going to get in trouble, so she wants you to share it. So she's going to put you in a trick bag and let you share it, and technically you so dumb you don't know that technically that's illegal. Guess what happened? He ain't shared it. But if he would have shared it, all he would have had me in it saying was, Your Honor, I didn't know that I had a warrant. The paperwork came to my house. I didn't know. I've been out of town for 30 days. I got the right to do that. I ain't saying it to the judge. I'm telling that to the people. I got the right to never be home. It's my property. And I didn't know. The judge say, no, I gave you an opportunity and I'm not dealing with it no more. Do you talk? And then he addressed her, cut me off. He was like, I said, yeah, all right, cool. Ran it by her. She got talking all this hot shit. And then he said something else to me. I said, nah, thanks, Your Honor. I'm done. And that's that with the stalking order and the hot stuff, right? Now, I got to give you the plea agreement part, right? All right, let me give a little explanation. When you do nothing, I'm not saying that somebody pled guilty to something is hot. That's not for you. That's for everybody. A lot of people keep saying, "Oh, he said she got a guilty plea." I already told you I pled guilty to something. A guilty plea do not make you hot. What you signed to in your guilty plea is what's questionable, right? Now, this is not in her guilty plea, but I'm gonna give an example for a street guy that might be watching your joint. If this was a guilty plea that I took and I signed, and it involved me and my co-defendant, right? And I said me and my co-defendant robbed CVS. Yes, me and Markel Wilson robbed CVS. And I'm pleading guilty to my part of it. That is hot, what we call hot in the streets. That is implicating something. Now, for the regular person, they might say, who cares? We're not talking about for the regular person. Remember, the regular person don't care if I'm hot or not. The only person that cares if I'm hot or not is me, for the sake of my honor, and any of my criminal buddies that care about that code. Normal people, let's be real, and correct me if I'm wrong. Normal people in society don't give a damn. Right? All right, cool. So, I'm not going to read y'all through all of the plea agreement. I'm just going to read y'all through the part that is just remarkable to me, and the part that has her jumping up and down. Okay? What has her jumping up and down going to say cheese. And once again, man, I don't want to get too far off track. I'm about to read this number 7. But what is say cheese interest in her? Other than you got Dwayne Perry thing that you can say. But now when he come back, again, now as I'm sitting, I'm getting into what I'm saying. When she come back on Say Cheese, it's only going to be for me. So why don't Say Cheese talk to me? I mean, maybe that's what I want to say. I don't want to Say Cheese interview. I'm cool with a Prime Quality TV interview. Prime Quality TV gonna be the new Say Cheese. Matter of fact, no disrespect to you. Prime Quality TV is gonna be my platform that, you know, anytime they go on Say Cheese and they slander me, I'm gonna come on Prime Quality TV. Number 7, page number 7, all right, Slim? I'm reading this, I'm saying that this is fucked up. I'm reading this and I'm saying to the people out here to understand crime, the code, and street culture, does this sound okay to you? And this is the page, this is the only page Say Cheese need to really, if Say Cheese gonna give his platform, if he gonna allow his platform to be whored out for her to just attack me and Sean Branch, make sure y'all go on to page 7, bruh. Now, I'm starting at number 9 on page 7 of her plea agreement, gun and cow mother. Immunity from further prosecution in the district. I ain't gonna add nothing to it, my fault. The United States will not further criminally prosecute the defendant in the Eastern District of Virginia for the specific conduct described in the information or statement of facts. Number 10, the defendant's cooperation. The defendant agrees to cooperate fully and truthfully with the United States and provide all information known to the defendant regarding any criminal activity as represented by the government in these regards. A through D, okay? A, the defendant agrees to testify truthfully and completely at any grand juries, trials, or other proceedings. B, the defendant agrees to be reasonably available for debriefing and pretrial conferences as the United States may require. C, the defendant agrees to provide all documents, records, writings, or materials of any kind in the defendant's possession or under the defendant's care, custody, or control relating directly or indirectly to all other areas of inquiry or investigation. And D, the defendant agrees that at the request of the United States, the defendant will voluntarily submit to a polygraph examination, that the United States will choose the polygraph examiner and specify the procedures for the examination. Now, I didn't interject anything in it. The government knows she's so much a liar that they say, even if you tell on somebody, you need a polygraph. Now, what I want to do on camera right here is what I didn't see her do on Say Cheese. You don't necessarily have to read it, but I want to hand you this so it's not like me staging it. I want you to be, you don't got to read the whole page, but I want you to verify that that's on them papers right there. And we can move on from there. You can say, I don't want to stop you. We can keep it rolling. But I just want to hand it to you. Like, I ain't none of these. Oh, by the way, every piece of paper that I got in here, and I'm going to give them to you. And for real, I want you to take pictures of them. Just don't take no pictures of the name so there's no trouble. Not my name, her name. I don't care about my name or nothing. My name is the real name. But I do so want to show you that every one of these papers that I got that she done filed frivolously on me has a stamp from the Superior Court of the District of Columbia. They have page numbers at the bottom with stamps and seals. It ain't no whole bunch of typewriter shit that they got that they saying it's my paperwork. Every single piece of paper that got my name on it, filed to a court by Gun and Cobb Mother, has a Superior Court stamp, name, number, and everything. Even warnings at the bottom of the paper that it's an official piece of paper. What's up? What else we got to cover?
So I wanted to
And do you understand what I just hold my fault? Do you understand what I just read in the A, B, C, and D of the cooperation agreement? You understand all that? You have any questions about that you think somebody might not understand?
I don't think so. Nah, I think you pretty much broke it down to anybody that's not, wouldn't know anything about that.
Okay.